In case you somehow missed my username, I am Bartuccio3, and if you're wondering where my videos are that I announced in my 9,000 viewer special for the Metal Dragon guide, well, they're all either in editing or recording, or both in some cases. Don't expect anything this weekend because I'm not going to have internet for the vast majority of it. And anyway, I'm going to talk today about the so-called problem of PJ with RuneScape. This is basically when somebody kill steals your target, or if they just go in for an easy kill after you defeat somebody and you still need to resupply, reheal, etc. I don't know why we couldn't just use kill steal and jumping, but apparently that would be too difficult for a 10-year-old to understand, so we came up with player or pile jumping, depending on who you ask, which either one just sounds completely stupid. Anyway, there's really no problem with this that I can see. It's just a more efficient way to kill somebody, because you get the same loot anyway, regardless of whether you fought them so-called fairly. So, really, I don't see where everybody's seeing the problems with this. It just does not make sense. If you're complaining about it because you died to it, stop crying. You'll eventually get over it. Try it yourself and you'll see how it can be profitable, and then you'll stop complaining about it. And really, this brings... Also, there's those alt code abusers. I don't know if this is still going on or if it's already been fixed or what, but it's basically, they type in an unrecognized character code that they have no exception handler for, because Jagex apparently didn't expect people to find out what could and could not be input to Java. I have no idea why they wouldn't do this, since so many people that play know Java. If you need further reference, just look at all of the custom servers being built, because most of those are coded by hand. Well, the good ones anyway. But basically, it's just glitch abuse. You can't really do anything about it, but at the same time, it should not be happening, and those that abuse it should be banned. On the subject of server rollback, that would just be plain stupid because of the fact that player versus player, the amount of people that do that primarily as their source of experience and or income are just so minor these days that they don't count for anything. Their opinions never counted in the past, so why should they now that they're in fewer numbers, really? And now there's this whole honor thing that's been around since the old wilderness that people still complain about. Here's what I think about the honor. You can choose whichever side you want with this, but I'm deciding to remain neutral. Well, it's sort of a no honor type of statement, but I consider it to be neutral. This debate cannot exist because you are on a mass murdering slaughter spree. There are no laws except for the game rules and the physical bounds of what your character can do. Okay? Based on that, the only restrictions are the ones you set for yourself, and if you choose to set a restriction for yourself that does not give you an advantage in combat, for example, you might choose to have lowered defense in order to optimize your offense and get your kills faster, something like that. That would be known as a pure for those of you that are ignorant on the matter. That makes sense, but deciding that you're only going to fight people if they're at full health, if they agree to fight you, if they're fully supplied, etc., that's just plain stupid, because you're not going to get any extra reward for it, unless you're looking for some moral type of reward, in which case you shouldn't be playing a game that focuses on killing. So, really, there's no reason to do this. And I've kind of lost the point that I was trying to get to, if that had a second part to it. But, really, just stop imposing unnecessary restrictions on yourself. You're just limiting your own income, which, why complain that you aren't getting enough money from killing people and then actually do something to make it so you get less money? Anyhow, all of these things tie into the as of yet unrelated demotivational poster. consulting. If you're not part of the solution, there's good money to be made in prolonging the problem. That's how it reads if the YouTube destroyed the quality badly enough that you cannot see it. Basically, what this is saying is that if you consider any of these things a problem, then, okay, you're stupid. Because these, except for the alt cards, are all legal parts of the game that you can partake in, and if you can profit from it, why not? And aside from that, you're most likely not going to be part of the solution, because the solution would have to be created by Jagex, the game creators, for ignoramuses. Those people are very unlikely to see this video, A, and B, if you are somehow working for Jagex, I'm going to just say congratulations on having found my obscure videos, since I don't have very much following. There's really no expectation of them having seen this, though, so that can be disregarded. But, yeah, nobody out here is going to be part of the solution to this so-called problem with jumping people. So, just partake, make your profit, do what you need to. Get money. That is the whole purpose of player versus player that I'm aware of. Sure, some people could say that they're just in it for the aggression, for the thrill of combat, whatever. To them, I say, go duel, okay? If you're looking for something low stakes, or you don't want to lose unobtainable or unreobtainable, or whatever you would consider your items to be, duel so that you don't lose them. If you're going to go into player versus player, don't wear anything you wouldn't be willing to lose. And really, I probably should have scripted this so that there would be fewer pauses, less stalling, a little bit less stuttering, but I think I've made my point fairly well. So many of the so-called problems in player versus player could be remedied by the term QQ more noob, okay? Just quit crying and leave the game, or both. Wait, no. I've already said to do both. Do one or the other, do both. I really don't care, but at the same time, you'd be better off if you chose not to complain about the game or to quit the game, as most people do. I've noticed a sharp decline in the player base of people that are both intelligent and high-leveled, which leads me to believe that most of these people are either buying their accounts, or they're very low-level and don't know what they're talking about, which is huge majority of the player base. And aside from that, pretty much anybody that's been around for a long time is gone, or very low profile at the moment, and anybody that's high level is probably just macroing or something, because I'm noticing a lot of people doing unintelligent things in high experience situations, like at pest control, for example. Basically, I'm just sick of seeing people that outlevel me in less time and don't know how to play the game, which is probably why I have no motivation to level, because levels no longer mean anything. So yeah, even with the experience nerf from pest control, I still feel that combat stats are no longer achievements. Hooray! And I'm going off in many directions from where I initially went to, but at the same time, there's no real limit on what I can say. It's my video, as long as there's nothing in here that violates terms of service for YouTube or RuneScape. It cannot be affected by anyone but my decisions. So, basically, there's not much you can do about anything but complain, and that doesn't work. So stop doing it. It just annoys people and creates spam. You're not changing anything. All you're doing is venting, which you could easily do to somebody in real life on a person-to-person basis over a phone or face-to-face. Okay? Even using Skype or Yahoo Messenger or something like that for voice chat. You do not have to type text into a game forum in order to get sympathy. In fact, you'll get less sympathy and basically end up with nothing but aggression directed toward you, unless you're a high-profile player, which they don't complain, so you're not. I hope you have enjoyed this slight update on what I'm doing and why I'm annoyed by people. And I might, depending on the success of this, start a series of these and just make various comments about the metagame for RuneScape, any other games if I get back into the metagame for them, but mostly RuneScape. Okay, this has been Bartuccio3 complaining about complainers.